now. We're talking about a water crisis in the town of Bethany. Neighbors there, they're seeing wells dry up because they are in the middle of a drought. Now people are seeing a handful of problems. One example is this: they can only use the toilet once or twice a day. And joining us live is the Bethany Town Supervisor, Carl Hyde Jr. We want to thank you so much for joining us on the 5:30 today.
Well, thank you very much, Claudine, for having me on.
Is there still a state of emergency regarding the town's water crisis? And if so, what's being done to address this problem?
Yes, but the town of Bethany is still in a water crisis. We had around 100 homes whose wells have gone dry, some churches, businesses, and all the dairy farms were hauling water here in Bethany. We did have a little respite with the snow melt, but that's going to be short-lived. So in the meantime, the residents over the last several years have asked to try to get public water into the town of Bethany, and we've been working on it. We had a big public meeting last night with between 150 and 200 residents showed up. We laid out the path for Water District 6 or Water District 5, which will do most of the town. And, you know, the cost used to be, when we got to the point to go out to bid in 2018, was 16 million. When we come out the other side of COVID, it went up to 21 million. So we had to get some extra funding. We just received that from New York State. So we had a meeting to let the residents know where we're at. If everything goes well, we'll start laying pipe in the ground, hopefully by September of this year. But it's a 12 to 16 or 16 to 18 month project for these residents to get public water, and it's only going to do half the community.
You know, Supervisor Hyde, a lot of people probably are seeing this for the first time if they're not in your county. What caused this water situation, if you want to talk about that? And was it just the drought and the lack of snow that really exacerbated it?
Well, it's been going on all of 2024. We had a poor rainfall in the spring. In 2022, we had a reasonable winter, but it wasn't anything spectacular. And the snow melt in 2022 into 2023 added to the water table. The lack of rain throughout the spring started to affect the residents. I had residents whose wells went dry starting in June. So it's been going on for a year. This year is not starting off well for us. I hate to be the guy that asks for, 5 or 6 feet of snow, but we need the water the snow to create the water to get down to the water table. So, in this area of New York State where we're at, water from rain and snow is essential for life and business.
Yeah, you're right. This is about vitality. You've been trucking in water at one point, but talk about that, as well as, are people advised to just ration water? And bottled water, I guess, is what the people need now, right?
We were trucking in water. The state was kind enough to let us use a tanker truck for about 7 weeks till we got to some freezing temperatures. And then that creates another whole nother aspect of problems with a big tanker of water that may freeze it, overnight or over a couple of days. So we can't do that until spring, and again, when it warms up. So residents are left on their own to haul water from surrounding towns that way. So they do have to use a lot of bottled water, whether it be bottles or gallons. Bethany has been lucky. We received a large donation of pallets of bottled water from Wegmans, Tops, BJ's, and Casella Waste Management. Delivered a lot of pallets of water to the community center in town. And the residents that are out of water are coming up during the day and picking up what we call a ration of water. So whatever their needs are that lasts them a week, we give them so many cases of bottles and so many gallons. So the surrounding communities and businesses have been graciously donating us water to give to the residents to help get them through this trying time.
That is great to hear. Bethany Town Supervisor Carl Hyde Jr., thanks so much for joining us on the 5:30 today.
Thank you very much.